Hi, I'm Simone.
And I'm Jaden.
And we are
Healers with you. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 things you need to know about the MCAT. What is the MCAT?
The Medical College Admissions Test. The purpose of it is it's pretty much the SAT for medical school. A really important thing to know is it's not a test on how good of a doctor you're going to be.
Most of the information that you're going to have to learn for the MCAT has nothing to do with anything like you're going to have to learn in medical school.
But it's kind of trying to see if you're able to learn that large amount of material like you're going to have to learn in med school. And there is some research that says it's a good indicator of how you're going to do on your steps in medical school.
There are 4 sections. There is Chem Phys, Cars, Psych Soc, and Biochem. So Chem Phys is mostly a chemistry based section with a little bit of physics. You'll have like different equations you'll need to learn, and there's no equation sheets for this test. You have to have everything memorized. And then you have the Cars, critical analysis and reasoning skills. That is a section that's just reading passages. There are 9 reading passages. You get approximately 10 minutes per per passage. And then you have Psych Soc, psychology and sociology, and then you have biology and biochem as your last section.
So the Chem Phys section, the Psych Soc, and the biochem all have 59 questions in 95 minutes. And then the Cars section is the one that has 53 questions in 90 minutes. So with the Chem Phys, Psych Soc, and biochem, there are 3 types of questions. There's your passage-based questions, there's your pseudo-discrete, and your discrete questions. So the passage-based are the ones that you have to read the passage to answer the question. And it's going to be involving whatever topic, vaguely kind of. There might be different types of passages, which I'm sure we can talk about in another video. But so yes, you'll need the passages for those. For the pseudo-discrete, they're a part of a passage-based question, but you don't necessarily need the passage to answer the question. And then for the discrete questions, it's kind of what you think of as a multiple choice question of like.
They're standalone questions that just don't deal with the passage. Just ask a question, then you have 4 multiple choice.
Awesome. So overall, it ends up being 6.5 hours of testing.
Yes,
which
but
is
you do take
lot.
Breaks.
Exactly. There are 3 breaks.
There's a break after every section. There is a 10-minute break after the Chem Phys section, then a 30-minute break after Cars, then another 10-minute break after Psych Soc.
Yes, and so it ends up being a 7.5-hour testing day.
Yes, which is grueling. But you're going to practice so many times before you actually take it that it's not going to be as bad when it gets to testing.
You'll build that stamina. The second thing that you need to know is the coursework required to take the MCAT. The MCAT has General Chemistry 1 and 2, Organic Chemistry 1 and 2, Physics 1 and 2, Biochemistry 1 and 2, Psychology, Sociology, and Humanities is all kind of covered on this test.
Which might sound like a lot of courses you need to take. A lot of pre-meds take this throughout their first 3 years before they actually get to that point of actually taking the test. It's not like you have to take these all at the same time. And not all of them are actually required. You have to take it before. I didn't take psychology or sociology before I took the MCAT.
Yes, since it's such a memorization heavy section, you don't necessarily need to take that class before
you can do that once you're studying for the MCAT. It's just a lot of drilling vocab.
Yes, so much vocab. Humanities is not a required course, but it's kind of, you need to be able to read.
Yes.
You need to be able to comprehend large amounts of text because there's so much reading on this test.
And it's honestly a part of your gen eds whenever you're at any college, university. Exactly. You have to have some type of reading course, and the amount that you have to read taking this test, you're going to need good reading skills to be able to have to dissect the passage quickly because this is a time test. Biochem 2, you don't absolutely need to take it before you take the MCAT. I highly recommend it. A lot of biochem is mechanisms and pathways of biological systems and stuff. And so that's a lot of stuff that you learn in Biochem 2. in a lot of schools, while biochem 1 is mostly like macromolecules and like amino acids, which you definitely
You need that too.
You definitely need.
You need that too. But yeah, if you can, if it's an option to take it. I didn't end up taking biochem 2, but I was jealous of Jaden for taking it, so I highly recommend it.
Yeah. But one thing I do want to make sure I highlight is that when you're going through these courses, when you're taking them initially, don't just like focus on getting an A, because really try to get a good foundation for this, so it will be much easier once it comes time to study for the MCAT. Because if you're just starting from like 0, it's going to be really hard to progress. It's much easier once you have a good foundation, which I feel like luckily we had a good foundation on our basic biology and chemistry before we moved into actually studying for the MCAT. Definitely recommend actually learning that stuff in your classes rather than just focusing on the A.
There are different ways that you can self-study through some of these topics, especially psych soc. Like Anki is one that a lot of people use, Miles Down, a concise way. We'll talk about how to study things in a later video, but it's possible to get through this test without necessarily taking all of the classes.
Number 3, the price and scheduling of the MCAT. The price. This is a $300 test. Between $300 and $35. Usually, it ranges sometimes around $335. There is a fee assistance program on the AAMC website, but the fee assistance program, I apply for it. It's really hard to get. It's more strict than the FAFSA. I think you need to be like 400% below the poverty line, which is crazy, and you need both parents' information. So if you usually only use like one of the parents' information for like fee assistance stuff, you need both, which can restrict a lot of people. We'll put the link to that below and more information. So if you do qualify for it, you can hopefully use that, because you also get free like MCAT study materials. But then I think the actual MCAT is actually just reduced to like $165 rather than $335, but it should be free, honestly. But
I agree.
We'll put that one down.
So then when you're thinking about when you want to schedule the MCAT, if you're going to take the test between January and June, those scheduling dates come out in October. Your opportunity schedule comes out in October. From August to September, the test opens in February.
Be mindful of when you're scheduling and the area you're scheduling in, because a lot of people on the day that the application's open, it gets really hectic on the website, and you may have to like schedule your actual test day maybe later or outside of the area you were going to take your test before. We'll talk more about that in a later video, but that is something to be aware of.
And when it comes to score turnaround, it takes 31 days from the day that you take your test for your score to come back. Then you're also able to cancel your test. The last day to cancel is 30 days out, and you'll get half of your money back. The last day to move your test is 10 days out, and that will cost you $150.
And you even have the ability to cancel your test at the end of taking it, but I would recommend to not do that. Even if you felt like it was a bad test, you already paid the money for it, so you might as well get the test.
You might as well get the score.
You might as well get the score. Yeah. Unless something crazy happened, like the center burned down or something like that.
Yeah.
Just submit the test for scoring.
You get 7 chances in your entire lifetime to take the test.
Yes.
You can do up to 3 tests in 1 year, and then you can do up to 4 in 2 years. The fourth thing that you need to know is about the different study resources that are available. So there's books. A lot of the testing companies have a set of books.
Like Kaplan, which is what we used, and then there's also like Princeton, Blueprint.
Yeah, there's tons and tons of companies that do those, but those same companies also usually have a course of some sort. And then there's the AAMC materials, which is the actual company that is putting on the MCAT. Those are going to be the most representative of what the actual test questions are going to look like. And
that would be the only resource I would say is like absolutely necessary. The other one, like most resources are paid for, unfortunately, but the only one that is paid for that I would say you absolutely need would be the AMC materials.
And they do have 2 free tests. One of them is scored, which means that it'll give you a score, obviously. And then the other one is not scaled, which means that it won't give you a score, but it'll tell you what you got right and wrong. So those are still good resources. Then there's other places where you can get like vocab. Anki is it's pretty much like a flashcard. Yeah, we didn't really use that, but a lot of people love those. UWorld. Again, we didn't use it, but so many people recommend it. So many good content and questions that are available there.
Mine was down.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll put links to all that stuff down below as well.
Exactly. The PsychSoc document. There's like a 300-page one, and I think there's a condensed 150-page one that just has a whole bunch of the psychology and sociology that you're going to need for the test.
Which is mostly memorization. So
Exactly.
it's good that can all be on one document. And luckily, it's free.
Yes. So yeah, and then Khan Academy also has free resources there.
Unfortunately, I do think the Khan Academy videos will be taken down in the next couple of years. So hopefully,
when you're watching
this,
still
they're
free.
still up. But we'll put links to that down below as well. The fifth thing you need to know about the MCAT is what's the score, the score distributions. You have the scoring range from 472 to 528, and it's a bell curve, with 501 being the average.
Absolutely. So 501 is about the average score. That will get you into some medical schools. 511 is considered the 80th percentile, which will get you into most medical schools. And then 518 is considered amazing.
Yeah, that'll get you into like the upper echelon, like the Ivy schools.
Exactly.
Like,
that's the
top 20 medical schools are all like average 520
schools. Yeah, that's the 95th percentile. So really, really great school.
Finally, we want you to make sure you set expectations appropriately. You want to have an ambitious goal, but don't make it too ambitious. Don't say like, yes, I'm going to have a 528, because it is really hard. There's a lot of content. I can say I had a goal that was too ambitious, and then it can be kind of discouraging if you have a really ambitious goal and you keep seeing yourself not make it. So yes, set an ambition goal for yourself, but don't make it too ambitious where it hurts you in the end.
Yeah, set a goal that this is ultimately what I'm aiming for, and then another goal that I'm happy with this score.
All right, guys, those are our top 5 things you need to know about the MCAT. Thank you for watching.
Yes, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe on this
video. Please, if you have any comments, leave them down in the comment section below. Please remember to follow us on Here's a Hue at all platforms, and thank you for watching. Stay tuned for our next video.